Welcome to a quiet journey through space, scale, and perspective. Tonight, there is nothing you need to remember. Nothing you need to understand perfectly. You don't need to follow every detail. You can simply listen and allow the universe to slowly unfold around you. We spend our lives standing on solid ground, feeling stable and central, surrounded by a world that feels large, important, and complete. Earth feels vast beneath our feet. The sky feels distant above us. Everything seems ordered around where we are. But tonight, gently and without urgency, we're going to step back, not suddenly, not dramatically, just slowly enough to notice something curious. That the world we live on, the planet that feels so big, so solid, so important, is almost impossibly small. This is not a story meant to make you feel insignificant. It's a story meant to soften perspective. As we move outward, away from familiar ground, away from the need to measure or compare, we'll discover how size changes meaning, how scale reshapes perception, and how Earth, quiet and fragile, exists within something far larger than urgency or concern. There's no destination, no conclusion to reach, just a slow widening of view. And as the universe expands around us, you can allow your thoughts to slow, your breathing to deepen, and the feeling of scale to gently replace the noise of the day. The familiar world, beneath our feet. Earth feels large because we live on it. This may sound simple, even obvious, but it is the foundation of nearly everything we believe about our place in the universe. We wake up each day standing on solid ground. We move across landscapes that stretch beyond the horizon. Oceans feel endless. Mountains feel permanent. The planet beneath us feels complete, self-contained, and immense. From this perspective, Earth feels like the center of things, not necessarily because we believe it intellectually, but because our experience reinforces it constantly. Gravity holds us close to the surface. The ground responds beneath our feet. The sky arches overhead, distant and unreachable. Everything we know happens here. The world feels large because it surrounds us. Our senses are tuned to this scale. Sight, sound, and touch evolved to navigate distances measured in meters and kilometers, not light years. We understand space in terms of travel time, effort, and visibility. If something takes hours to cross, it feels far. If it takes days, it feels vast. Earth, measured this way, feels enormous. And yet, this feeling is not a measure of size. It is a measure of familiarity. We rarely experience Earth from the outside. There is no daily reminder of its boundaries, no obvious edge to signal its true dimensions. The planet feels endless because we never see it whole. We live on its surface, inside its atmosphere, wrapped in its gravity. The illusion of importance forms naturally when there is no external reference. From the ground, Earth does not feel like an object. It feels like reality itself. This is why scale becomes deceptive so easily. When we look up at the sky, stars appear distant and small. They feel detached from our daily experience. The sun feels large only because it dominates the sky. The moon feels significant because it moves and changes shape. But Earth, the thing we stand on, feels different. It does not feel like one object among many. It feels like the foundation of existence. This feeling is powerful. It shapes how we think about space, importance, and scale. It quietly convinces us that what surrounds us must be central, that what supports us must be significant in size. The mind builds meaning from stability, and nothing feels more stable than the ground beneath our feet. Yet stability does not imply size. A small boat can feel stable in calm water. A room can feel large if it surrounds you. A planet can feel immense if you never leave its surface. Earth feels vast because our lives unfold within it. Every story we tell, every memory we hold, every concern we carry happens here. The planet becomes the stage for meaning, and meaning makes things feel large. But the universe does not measure importance the way we do. It does not assign value based on experience. It does not scale objects by familiarity. It does not care what feels central. Earth occupies space like everything else. It has dimensions, it has mass, it has limits, and those limits are invisible to us most of the time. We rarely think about the thickness of the atmosphere that protects us, even though it is astonishingly thin compared to the planet itself. We rarely consider how shallow the oceans are relative to Earth's size, even though they feel endless when viewed from shore. We rarely imagine the planet as a sphere moving through space, because from where we stand, it feels flat and still. The mind simplifies. It turns complexity into comfort. It turns scale into familiarity. It turns Earth into something that feels larger than it is. This simplification is not wrong. It is necessary. Without it, daily life would be overwhelming. Constant awareness of planetary motion, cosmic distance, and physical limits would erode our ability to focus, rest, and belong. So the mind protects us. It makes Earth feel like home rather than an object. It makes the sky feel distant rather than enclosing. It makes the universe feel separate rather than surrounding. But tonight, gently, without force, we begin to loosen this protection. Not to remove it, but to look beyond it for a moment. Not to feel small, not to feel insignificant, but to feel perspective. Perspective does not diminish meaning, it softens it. As we begin this journey outward, we won't rush. We won't leap suddenly into numbers or comparisons. We'll move slowly, step by step, allowing Earth to remain familiar while quietly acknowledging that familiarity and size are not the same thing. Earth will not disappear. It will simply begin to take its place. And as it does, the universe will not feel colder or emptier. It will feel calmer, larger, more patient. This is where scale truly begins, not with distance, but with the gentle realization that what feels biggest is often what we are standing inside. Why Earth feels central and stable. Earth does not feel like it is moving. This is one of the quiet reasons it feels so important. We wake up each day to the same horizon. The ground does not slide beneath us. The sky does not blur overhead. There is no sensation of speed, no feeling of rotation, no reminder that we are traveling through space at extraordinary velocity. The planet feels still, and stillness feels significant. Stability creates the illusion of centrality. On Earth, motion is usually obvious. Cars pass, wind moves trees, water flows. When something moves quickly, we notice it. When something remains steady, we trust it. Earth remains steady beneath us. So the mind treats it as a reference point rather than a participant in motion. Yet the planet is moving constantly. It rotates once every day, faster at the equator than at the poles. It orbits the sun at tens of kilometers per second. The entire solar system moves through the Milky Way. The galaxy itself drifts through space. All of this motion is layered together, happening at once, without producing any sensation. This absence of sensation is crucial. The brain relies on change to detect motion. When motion is smooth and consistent, it disappears from awareness. The Earth's movement is so regular, so continuous, that it becomes invisible. The planet feels like a resting place rather than a vehicle. Because Earth feels still, everything else appears to move around it. The sun rises and sets. The stars drift across the sky. The moon changes position night after night. From the surface, it feels natural to assume that we are stationary, while the universe shifts above us. This perspective is ancient, deeply rooted in experience rather than belief. For most of human history, there was no reason to question it. Earth felt central because it felt stable. The sky appeared to revolve around us. The stars seemed fixed to a great dome overhead. The idea that Earth might be one object among many, moving through space, required evidence that daily experience did not provide. Even now, knowing that Earth moves does not change how it feels. Knowledge does not always override perception. We can understand something intellectually while continuing to experience it differently. Earth remains stable in experience, regardless of what science tells us. The mind trusts sensation more than explanation. This trust reinforces importance. A stable platform becomes a center. A center becomes meaningful. Meaning becomes scale. Earth feels large, not because of its dimensions, but because it anchors experience. Everything we know unfolds relative to it. Directions, distances, time, and motion are all measured from the surface outward. The planet becomes the reference against which everything else is compared. From this reference point, the universe feels distant. Stars appear small because they are far. The sun feels large because it dominates our sky. The moon feels close because it changes visibly. Earth, by contrast, does not appear at all. It is the unseen constant beneath every observation. This invisibility strengthens the illusion. We rarely see Earth as an object. We see landscapes, oceans, and skies, but not the planet itself. Without seeing Earth from the outside, it is difficult to feel its limits. Something without visible limits easily feels limitless. This is why images of Earth from space are so powerful. They reveal something we never experienced directly. The planet as a finite sphere, suspended in darkness, bordered by a thin atmosphere. These images are striking precisely because they contradict everyday perception. They show Earth not as a foundation, but as one object among many. And yet, even after seeing such images, the illusion returns. Back on the surface, the ground feels solid again. The sky feels distant again. Earth resumes its role as background rather than subject. The mind reasserts its familiar framework because it must. Constant awareness of planetary fragility and motion would be exhausting. The brain chooses stability because stability allows rest. This choice is not denial. It is adaptation. Earth feels central because our lives require a center. A place that does not move, that does not change suddenly, that can be trusted. The universe may be dynamic, but experience needs something fixed to orient around. So the mind gives Earth that role. It does not ask how large the planet is relative to stars or galaxies. It asks how reliable it is beneath our feet. It measures importance in terms of safety and continuity, not size. This difference matters. Size in the universe is physical. Importance in experience is psychological. Earth ranks high in the second category, and that ranking influences how large it feels. We confuse importance with scale because they often align in daily life. Large animals are harder to ignore. Large structures are more imposing. Large spaces require more effort to cross. But in the universe, size and importance do not correlate. A tiny particle can shape the behavior of an entire system. A small force can influence massive structures. A small planet can host complex life. Earth's importance to us does not require it to be large in cosmic terms. It requires only that it supports experience. And it does this so well that size becomes irrelevant to daily awareness. This is why the idea of Earth's smallness can feel unsettling at first. It seems to threaten meaning. But meaning does not come from size. It comes from context. Earth feels central because it is central to us. It feels stable because stability is what we need. Recognizing this does not diminish the planet. It clarifies our relationship to it. Earth can be both small in the universe and central in experience. These truths do not compete. They coexist. As we move forward, we will begin to introduce external reference points. First gently, then more clearly. Not to remove Earth from its place in experience, but to place it within a larger framework where size is measured differently. For now, it is enough to notice how centrality is created not by position in space, but by the absence of motion in perception. Earth feels like the center because it does not move beneath us. It feels large because it holds us steady, and as long as it does, the illusion of importance will remain. Quiet, necessary, and deeply human. Measuring a planet we live on. It is difficult to measure something when you are standing on it. Earth surrounds us so completely that its size does not present itself as a single idea. We experience pieces of the planet at a time: streets, fields, coastlines, horizons, but never the whole. Distance is learned through travel, not through overview. A city feels large because it takes time to cross. A continent feels vast because it takes days to traverse. Earth, assembled from these experiences, feels immense. But this feeling is built from effort, not from scale. To begin understanding Earth's actual size, we have to step away from experience and into measurement. Measurement does not rely on feeling. It relies on consistency. It asks how far something extends, not how long it takes to cross. It replaces perception with proportion. When this shift happens, Earth begins to change. The planet has a diameter of just under 13,000 kilometers. This number is precise, but emotionally empty. It does not immediately tell us what Earth is like. It does not convey weight or presence. It simply describes distance from one side of the planet to the other, passing through its center. Numbers like this are difficult to feel because they do not connect to daily experience. We do not travel through the Earth. We move across its surface. We think in terms of routes and landmarks, not straight lines through planetary interiors. Still, this measurement matters. It tells us that Earth is finite, that it has boundaries, that it occupies a specific amount of space. Once those boundaries are acknowledged, Earth stops being an undefined foundation and becomes an object with dimensions. The planet is not infinitely thick. It is not endlessly wide. It has a measurable size. This realization arrived slowly in human history. For thousands of years, Earth was thought to be flat or limitless, extending outward until it met something unknown. The idea that Earth was a sphere floating in space required imagination beyond direct observation. When that idea finally took hold, it reshaped understanding quietly. Earth became something that could be circled, something that could be mapped completely, something that existed as a whole rather than an endless plane. Yet even then, its size remained abstract. To feel Earth's dimensions, comparison is necessary. Scale only becomes meaningful when placed next to something else. Without comparison, size remains isolated, difficult to interpret. On its own, Earth's diameter feels large. 13,000 kilometers sounds enormous because human travel measures distance in hours or days. But the universe does not measure distance this way. It measures space by structure, mass, and relation. In this broader context, Earth begins to shift. The planet's circumference, roughly 40,000 kilometers, once represented the edge of the known world. To early explorers, this distance felt monumental. It defined the limits of possibility. Crossing it meant months of travel, uncertainty, and risk. But effort is not scale. Difficulty is not size. Earth did not shrink when travel became easier. Its dimensions remained unchanged. What changed was our relationship to those dimensions. As movement became faster and more efficient, the planet began to feel smaller, not because it was, but because experience changed. This reveals something important. The feeling of size is elastic. It expands and contracts based on context, technology, and expectation. Earth feels large when it resists movement. It feels smaller when it yields to it. This elasticity often hides true scale. When Earth is described as large, it is usually in reference to human limitation. When it is described as small, it is usually in reference to cosmic comparison. Both descriptions can be true at once, depending on the frame of reference. Measurement provides a neutral frame. Earth's radius is about 6,400 kilometers. This means that from the surface to the center of the planet is a distance that could be crossed by light in a fraction of a second. Gravity holds this entire structure together, compressing enormous mass into a relatively compact form. Compared to everyday objects, Earth is massive. Compared to cosmic structures, it is delicate. The planet's mass is large enough to shape oceans, mountains, and atmosphere. It is large enough to hold a complex system of life. It is large enough to feel permanent. But permanence is not magnitude. Earth exists within a hierarchy of size. Planets exist within solar systems. Solar systems exist within galaxies. Galaxies exist within clusters. Each layer redefines what large means. At Earth's level, the planet dominates experience. At higher levels, it becomes something else entirely. Still, before moving outward, it is important to linger here. Earth is not insignificant. It is not trivial. Its size is perfectly suited to what it supports. It is large enough to sustain complexity, but small enough to remain dynamic. Its dimensions allow for atmosphere without crushing pressure, gravity without collapse, oceans without runaway expansion. This balance is rare. Understanding Earth's size is not about diminishing it. It is about placing it accurately. Scale is not a judgment. It is a description. As we prepare to compare Earth to other objects in space, it is important to remember that measurement does not erase meaning. It clarifies it. Earth does not lose importance when its size is known. It gains context. For now, it is enough to recognize that Earth has dimensions that can be measured, boundaries that can be defined, and a size that exists independently of how it feels beneath our feet. The ground remains solid. The sky remains distant. But the planet has quietly become an object. Earth compared to the moon. Comparison is where scale begins to feel real. On its own, Earth's size remains abstract, wrapped in numbers that resist imagination. But when another object is placed beside it, something familiar, something visible, the planet begins to take on clearer proportions. The moon provides this first reference point. It is close enough to feel present, yet distant enough to remain separate. It changes shape in the sky, marks time, and anchors the night, with quiet regularity. Because the moon feels important, Earth often feels larger by contrast. From the surface, the moon appears surprisingly big. It dominates the night sky, bright enough to cast shadows. It seems close, reachable, almost within grasp. This appearance creates an illusion of similarity, as though Earth and Moon exist on comparable scales. They do not. Earth is more than 3 times wider than the Moon. Its diameter dwarfs the Moon's in a way that photographs struggle to convey. When placed side by side, Earth feels overwhelmingly dominant, a vast sphere compared to a smaller companion. The Moon, which feels large overhead, becomes modest when viewed next to the planet it orbits. This shift in perception is subtle but important. It reveals how easily the sky misleads the senses. Apparent size does not equal actual size. Distance flattens difference. Objects separated by great space can appear similar, even when their true dimensions differ dramatically. The Moon looks large because it is close. Earth feels large because we are on it. But when viewed from space, Earth quickly asserts its presence. Its curvature is unmistakable. Its atmosphere forms a thin, glowing layer around the surface, barely clinging to the planet. Oceans stretch across its face. Continents drift slowly beneath clouds. Compared to the Moon's barren surface, Earth appears complex, active, and alive. This complexity reinforces the feeling of size. Earth looks full. The Moon looks empty. Fullness feels larger than emptiness, even when measurements are known. Yet even here, the comparison is incomplete. The distance between Earth and the Moon is vast, relative to their sizes. If Earth were reduced to the size of a basketball, the Moon would be a tennis ball placed several meters away. The space between them would feel surprisingly empty. This emptiness is rarely felt when looking at the sky, because depth collapses into a single plane. The Earth-Moon system is not compact. It is spacious. This space matters because it reveals a pattern that repeats throughout the universe. Objects are rarely clustered tightly together. Space dominates structure. Matter occupies only a small fraction of the volume it defines. Earth and Moon feel close because the sky offers no scale bar. Without reference points, distance becomes deceptive. The Moon's presence feels intimate even though space separates it from Earth far more than daily experience suggests. When this distance is acknowledged, Earth begins to feel smaller. Not in comparison to the Moon, but in comparison to the space it occupies. The planet is no longer a singular presence filling reality. It becomes one object within a system, separated from its nearest neighbor by a vast stretch of emptiness. This is the first quiet step toward cosmic scale. The Moon, which once served as a marker of Earth's dominance, now becomes a reminder of space. The distance between them hints at how scale will continue to expand as reference points multiply. Still, within this system, Earth remains large. Its gravity shapes the Moon's orbit. Its mass dominates the pair. From this vantage, Earth feels significant, substantial, capable. The planet holds its companion in a steady embrace, guiding its motion through time. But significance within a system does not translate upward indefinitely. As soon as the frame widens beyond Earth and Moon, the balance begins to shift again. The planet that felt dominant here will soon find itself placed beside something far larger. For now, it is enough to rest with this first comparison. Earth is large compared to the Moon. It is heavy. It is commanding. And yet, even here, space is already beginning to outgrow it. The gap between Earth and Moon is a quiet reminder that emptiness plays a larger role in the universe than presence. That objects, no matter how important they feel, occupy only a small fraction of the space around them. This realization does not diminish Earth. It prepares the mind, because the next comparison will not be as gentle. The sun is not just bigger. Up to this point, Earth has remained substantial. Compared to the moon, it felt dominant and secure, comfortably occupying the role of the largest presence nearby. The planet still felt like something solid and significant, even as space quietly widened around it. But the moment the sun enters the comparison, something fundamental changes. The sun does not simply outweigh Earth. It redefines what large means. From the surface of Earth, the sun feels important rather than immense. It warms the planet. It lights the day. It moves predictably across the sky. Its size is felt indirectly through its influence, not through its shape. We experience sunlight as an environment rather than an object. This familiarity softens perception. The sun appears similar in size to the moon when viewed from Earth, a coincidence of distance that masks reality. Two objects with radically different dimensions occupy the same apparent space in the sky, flattening scale and hiding contrast. The mind accepts this without resistance, because the eye provides no reason to question it. But this is where intuition quietly fails. If Earth were placed beside the sun, the planet would not feel reduced. It would nearly disappear. The sun is so wide that more than 100 Earths could fit across its diameter. Its volume is so vast that over 1 million Earths could be placed inside it, leaving room to spare. These numbers are often repeated, but rarely felt. They sound impressive, but they remain abstract until comparison becomes visual. Imagine Earth as a small sphere resting beside the sun. The planet would look less like a world and more like a detail. Its oceans, continents, and atmosphere would be too small to register from a distance. The features that define Earth would vanish into scale. This is the first moment where Earth truly begins to feel small, not because it has changed, but because the frame has widened enough to reveal proportion. The sun does not merely exceed Earth's size, it overwhelms it. The planet that once felt central becomes a minor feature within a much larger structure. And yet, even this comparison can feel misleading. The sun feels enormous compared to Earth, but its size serves a function. It must be large enough to sustain nuclear fusion, converting mass into energy steadily over billions of years. Its gravity must be strong enough to hold planets in orbit, to stabilize the system, to define a region of space. The sun is not arbitrarily large. Its size is a requirement. Understanding this reframes the comparison. Earth is not small because it fails to measure up. It is appropriately sized for what it is. The sun is appropriately sized for what it must do. Size in the universe is not competitive. It is contextual. Still, the emotional shift remains. Earth no longer feels dominant. It no longer feels, central. The planet becomes something that depends on the sun rather than defines its own system. Its motion is guided. Its temperature is regulated. Its existence unfolds within a gravitational structure far larger than itself. From this perspective, Earth feels fragile rather than vast. The thinness of its atmosphere becomes apparent. A narrow layer of gas protects the surface, clinging to the planet by gravity alone. Compared to the sun's mass and energy, this layer feels delicate, easily stripped away if conditions were different. This fragility is not a weakness, it is a balance. Earth exists in a narrow zone where conditions allow complexity. Its distance from the sun is precise enough to maintain liquid water, stable climate, and long-term continuity. The planet's smallness becomes part of what makes it suitable for life. But suitability does not imply scale. When Earth is placed beside the Sun, it becomes clear that the planet occupies a small region of influence within a much larger system. The Sun's gravity dominates. Its light defines time. Its mass shapes motion. Earth responds. This response-based existence contrasts sharply with the illusion of centrality described earlier. From the surface, Earth feels like the anchor. From space, the Sun clearly fills that role. The shift is subtle, but important. It marks the moment where Earth stops feeling like the primary structure and begins to feel like a participant. And yet, even the Sun is not the end of this progression. For now, it is enough to let this comparison settle gently. Earth is not reduced to nothing. It is simply placed beside something larger. The planet remains what it has always been, solid, stable, life-supporting, but the frame has expanded. The sense of importance begins to loosen, replaced by a quieter understanding of position. In the next movement of this chapter, we will explore what happens when Earth is not just compared to the Sun's width, but imagined within it, and how quickly the idea of planetary size dissolves when scale is allowed to continue expanding. For now, the Sun rises and sets as it always has. Earth remains beneath our feet. Only the perspective has shifted. How Earth disappears inside a star. To truly understand how small Earth is, it helps to stop thinking about comparison and start thinking about containment. Size becomes clearer when one object can be placed inside another. Not beside it, not orbiting it, but held within it. This is where Earth quietly vanishes. If Earth were lowered into the Sun, there would be no dramatic moment of entry, no clear boundary crossed. The Sun does not have a solid surface in the way planets do. It is a vast sphere of plasma, growing denser and hotter as you move inward. Earth would encounter increasing heat and pressure long before reaching anything resembling a surface. And yet, even before that, scale would already have erased it. From a distance, Earth would appear as a small, dark point against the Sun's glowing expanse. Its familiar features, oceans, continents, clouds, would be gone. The planet would lose all visible detail, becoming nothing more than a speck against overwhelming light. As Earth moved closer, the Sun would not seem to open to receive it. The star would remain unchanged, indifferent to the presence of something so small. The planet would not dent the Sun. It would not alter its shape. It would not register as a meaningful intrusion. This indifference is revealing. The Sun contains more than 99% of the mass in the entire solar system. Everything else, planets, moons, asteroids, dust, exists as a thin scattering around it. Earth's mass, impressive by human standards, becomes negligible in this context. The planet does not challenge the Sun. It belongs to it. Inside the Sun's volume, Earth would occupy almost no space at all. Over 1 million Earths could fit inside the Sun, arranged in countless configurations, and still leave room. The idea of Earth as a world begins to dissolve when imagined this way. It becomes a unit of measurement rather than a place. This does not strip Earth of meaning. It strips it of illusion. The illusion was illusion, never that Earth mattered. The illusion was that size and meaning were the same thing. Inside the Sun, that connection breaks cleanly. Earth's physical dimensions lose relevance while its uniqueness remains intact. This separation is important. The Sun's size is necessary for energy production. Its mass sustains fusion, releasing light and heat steadily for billions of years. Earth does not need to be large to benefit from this. It needs to be positioned correctly. Distance, not dominance, defines its role. From this perspective, Earth's smallness becomes functional. A larger Earth would have stronger gravity, thicker atmosphere, different geology. A smaller Earth might lose its atmosphere entirely. The planet's size sits within a narrow range that allows stability without stagnation. This balance does not depend on matching the Sun's scale. It depends on contrast. The Sun's enormity provides energy. Earth's modest size allows complexity. Seen this way, Earth disappearing inside the Sun is not a failure of scale. It is a reminder that systems are built from difference, not equality. Large and small coexist because they serve different purposes. Still, emotionally, this comparison carries weight. The planet that once felt vast now feels almost delicate. The Sun's size reframes everything. Earth's mountains become insignificant ripples. Its oceans become thin layers. Its atmosphere becomes a fragile skin. And yet, this fragility is what makes Earth remarkable. Inside the Sun, there is no surface to stand on, no stable environment, no complexity beyond plasma and energy flow. Earth's smallness allows it to cool, to differentiate, to host structures that persist. Size alone does not create richness. Conditions do. This realization softens the shock of scale. Earth does not need to compete with the Sun. It exists because the Sun exists. The planet's smallness becomes part of a larger harmony rather than a deficiency. It allows Earth to be responsive rather than dominant, adaptive rather than overwhelming. Still, as we step back further, the Sun itself will soon face the same fate Earth just experienced. It too will be placed beside something larger. It too will begin to feel contained, diminished, recontextualized. This pattern does not end with stars. For now, it is enough to rest with this image. Earth, once the foundation of everything we know, fits easily inside a star. Its size, once unquestioned, becomes a quiet detail within a much larger structure. The Sun continues to shine, Earth continues to orbit, and perspective continues to expand, slowly, gently, without urgency. The space between planets. When the Sun enters the picture, Earth's size begins to soften. But when the entire solar system is allowed to unfold, something even quieter happens. Size gives way to distance. Presence gives way to space. And Earth, which once felt solid and defining, begins to feel almost lost between vast stretches of emptiness. The solar system is not crowded. This is one of the most common misunderstandings about space. Images often show planets neatly aligned, placed close together for clarity and comparison. These images are useful, but they quietly compress reality. They pull distant objects into a single frame, erasing the enormous spaces that actually define the system. In reality, the solar system is mostly empty space. Planets are separated by distances so large that the Sun itself becomes small when viewed from far enough away. Even the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are not close to one another in any intuitive sense. They are isolated, each following its own path through a vast region dominated by emptiness. From Earth, this emptiness is difficult to feel. We see the Sun daily. We see the Moon nightly. We can occasionally spot Venus or Mars as bright points in the sky. These sightings create the impression of a populated neighborhood. But appearances are deceptive. Earth were reduced to the size of a grain of sand. The nearest planet would still be meters away. The Sun would be dozens of meters distant. The space between objects would feel far larger than the objects themselves. The solar system would look sparse, almost abandoned. This sparseness changes how Earth's size is understood. The planet is no longer just small compared to the sun. It is small compared to the distances that separate everything. Earth becomes a tiny object moving through a mostly empty region, defined less by its physical size and more by the vastness around it. Distance begins to dominate perception. Between Earth and Mars lies tens of millions of kilometers of space. Between Earth and Jupiter, that distance expands dramatically. By the time the outer planets are considered, Earth's position feels insignificant, not because it lacks importance, but because the system itself is so spread out. The solar system is less like a cluster of objects and more like a few scattered islands in a vast ocean of space. Earth is one of those islands, active, complex, meaningful, but surrounded by emptiness that far outweighs its presence. This emptiness is not wasted. It plays a role. Space allows stability. Wide separations prevent constant gravitational disruption. Planets can follow long, predictable orbits without interference. The solar system remains calm because its components are spaced generously. Calm is a product of distance. This calm also hides scale. When nothing changes quickly, size becomes difficult to sense. The planets move, but slowly. Their positions shift gradually. From a human lifetime, the solar system feels static. Earth remains in its orbit. The sun rises and sets. The background appears unchanged. This stillness reinforces the illusion of significance. Earth feels central because everything appears to revolve around it. The sun's path defines our days. The moon's cycle defines months. Even distant planets seem to follow predictable patterns relative to Earth's sky. But this perspective is anchored to observation, not structure. In reality, Earth is one participant in a system dominated by the sun's gravity. It moves through space along a curved path, held in place by forces far larger than itself. Its motion is smooth enough to feel still, but that smoothness is precisely what hides scale. As we step back and view the solar system as a whole, Earth becomes harder to locate. It is no longer obvious where the planet sits unless pointed out explicitly. Without labels or reference points, Earth blends into the pattern of orbits. This blending is important. It marks the moment where Earth stops feeling like a centerpiece and begins to feel like a component. The solar system does not revolve around Earth. Earth participates in a structure that exists independently of it. This does not diminish Earth's role. It clarifies it. The planet's significance comes from what it supports, not from how large it is relative to space. Within the solar system, Earth occupies a narrow band where conditions allow complexity. That band is defined by distance, not dominance. Distance becomes the key variable. The right amount of space from the sun allows water to remain liquid. Too close, and oceans evaporate. Too far, and they freeze. Earth's position is precise, but its size is secondary. Location matters more than mass. As the solar system expands outward, this precision becomes less intuitive. The outer regions stretch far beyond where sunlight feels warm or familiar. Planets move slowly. Orbits take decades or centuries to complete. Time itself begins to stretch. Earth's one-year orbit feels brief by comparison. This growing scale prepares the mind for the next shift. The solar system, which once felt expansive, will soon be placed within an even larger structure. And just as Earth faded beside the sun itself will begin to fade beside the galaxy. For now, it is enough to rest with a feeling of space. The solar system is not a crowded home, it is a quiet expanse. Earth moves through it steadily. carrying life across distances that are mostly empty, mostly silent, mostly vast. And in that emptiness, the planet's smallness becomes easier to feel. Not as loss, but as placement, where Earth becomes invisible. There is a point at which Earth stops being easy to find. This point does not arrive suddenly. It comes gradually as distance accumulates and perspective widens. At first, Earth remains distinct. It is still the planet we know, orbiting the Sun at a familiar distance. But as the frame continues to expand, something subtle happens. Earth's identity begins to fade into scale. From just beyond the orbit of Mars, Earth is already difficult to see. It reflects sunlight, but weakly. It becomes one point of light among many, indistinguishable from other planets without careful observation. Its colors, its clouds, its oceans, all of the features that define it from close range, are gone. This disappearance is not dramatic. It is quiet. Earth does not announce when it becomes small. It does not signal the moment when it blends into the background. It simply stops standing out. The planet that once felt like the center of everything becomes one object among many, then one point among countless points. As distance continues to grow, even that point disappears. From the outer reaches of the solar system, Earth is no longer visible at all. The Sun itself becomes a bright star rather than a dominant presence. The inner planets vanish into its glare, their orbits too tight and too close to be resolved. At this scale, the solar system no longer looks like a collection of worlds. It looks like a single light source surrounded by emptiness. Earth is still there. Nothing about it has changed, but perspective has. This is one of the quiet truths of scale. Visibility is not permanence. Something can exist fully and still be impossible to detect. Earth's disappearance does not reflect insignificance. It reflects distance. Distance erases detail first, then contrast, then presence. This erasure is gradual enough that it feels natural. There is no moment of loss, just a slow blending into the background of space. From this vantage, the solar system itself begins to feel small. The orbits that once seemed vast compress into a tight cluster around the Sun. The Kuiper belt, which stretches far beyond the known planets, becomes a faint extension rather than a defining structure. Even the boundary of the solar system, the region where the Sun's influence weakens, does not present itself clearly. There is no visible edge. The system thins out slowly, fading into interstellar space without ceremony. Earth disappears long before this point. This disappearance changes the meaning of size. Earth is no longer something that can be pointed to. It becomes a location that must be known rather than seen. Its existence relies on memory, not observation. This reliance on memory is important. It reveals how much of what we consider real depends on proximity. Things feel real when they are visible, tangible, immediate. As distance grows, reality does not vanish, but its emotional weight diminishes. Earth feels important because it is near. It feels large because it fills experience. When distance removes that nearness, the planet's physical size becomes irrelevant. It occupies space, but it does not command attention. It exists quietly, without presence. This quiet existence is not a flaw. It is the natural state of most things in the universe. The universe does not organize itself around what is noticeable. It allows countless objects to exist beyond visibility, beyond recognition, beyond awareness. Earth joins this vast majority the moment perspective expands beyond the local. This understanding can feel unsettling at first. The idea that Earth becomes invisible suggests fragility, isolation, or loss. But invisibility is not absence. It is simply a consequence of scale. Earth remains complex. It remains alive. It remains meaningful to those who exist on it. But from far enough away, meaning does not register. Space does not respond to significance. It responds only to mass, motion, and distance. This impartiality is calming when allowed to be. It removes judgment. It removes hierarchy. It replaces importance with placement. Earth is not special because it is large. It is special because of what unfolds upon it. As the solar system recedes into the background, Earth's invisibility prepares the mind for the next transition. If a planet can vanish within its own system, what happens when that system is placed inside something even larger? The answer is not dramatic. It is consistent. Just as Earth faded beside the Sun, and just as the Sun fades within the solar system, the entire system will soon begin to fade within the galaxy. Scale continues to expand. Presence continues to soften. For now, it is enough to rest with the idea that Earth does not need to be seen to exist. Its reality does not depend on recognition. It carries its own meaning quietly, regardless of how small it appears from afar. Earth becomes invisible, not because it is unimportant, but because the universe is vast. And as we drift farther outward, invisibility will become the rule rather than the exception. Earth inside the Milky Way. Once Earth fades from view, the solar system follows soon after. From far enough away, the Sun becomes just another star. Its warmth, its gravity, its defining presence, all collapse into a single point of light, indistinguishable from countless others. The planets that once orbited it disappear entirely, absorbed into glare and distance. The solar system, which felt expansive from within, reduces to something simple and unremarkable. This is where the Milky Way begins to matter. The galaxy is not something we encounter directly. We do not see it as a whole, from our position inside it. We experience it indirectly, through a band of light stretching across the night sky, through the slow motion of stars, through the subtle pull of gravity shaping motion over time. The Milky Way surrounds us so completely that its size becomes invisible. From within, a galaxy does not feel large. It feels like space itself. Earth, now already invisible at the scale of the solar system, becomes something else entirely here. It is not just unseen, it is unlocatable. There is no obvious way to point to Earth within the galaxy without precise instruments and careful mapping. The planet becomes a coordinate rather than a place. This shift is quiet but profound. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars. Each star hosts its own region of space, its own gravitational influence, its own potential for planets. Against this backdrop, the Sun does not stand out. It does not occupy a special region. It is one star among many, moving along an orbit shaped by the galaxy's mass. Earth rides along unnoticed. The galaxy does not acknowledge planets. It responds only to mass. Stars follow curved paths around the galactic center, guided by gravity that extends far beyond visible matter. Dark matter forms a vast halo around the Milky Way, shaping motion in ways that cannot be seen directly. Earth's presence has no effect on this structure. It is far too small. This is not dismissal, it is proportion. The Milky Way's diameter stretches across 100,000 light-years. Light itself, the fastest thing we know, takes 100,000 years to cross from one side of the galaxy to the other. Earth's entire history fits into a tiny fraction of that span. Civilizations rise and fall without altering the galaxy in the slightest. Entire species appear and vanish without leaving a trace at this scale. From the galaxy's perspective, Earth is not a location of activity. It is a moment. A brief fluctuation in one star system among many. This does not make Earth meaningless. It places meaning where it belongs. Meaning exists locally. It belongs to experience, not to structure. The galaxy does not need to notice Earth for Earth to matter. The two operate on different levels of scale. Within the Milky Way, distance overwhelms everything else. Stars are separated by light years. Even neighboring systems lie so far apart that direct interaction is rare. Space between stars is not empty in an absolute sense. But it is empty enough that encounters are gentle, unfolding over millions of years. Earth exists within this vast separation. The nearest star system lies more than 4 light-years away. This distance is so large that traveling it with current technology would take tens of thousands of years. From the galaxy's perspective, Earth and its neighbors are isolated points, drifting quietly through space. Isolation becomes the norm. Within this isolation, the idea of scale shifts again. Earth is no longer a small planet near a star. It is part of a star system embedded within a spiral arm of a galaxy, itself only one feature among many. The spiral arms of the Milky Way look dramatic from the outside, but from within, they are subtle. They are regions of slightly higher density, marked by younger stars and glowing gas. Earth resides in one such region. But there is nothing about this location that announces its importance. There is no signpost, no marker, no center. The galactic center itself lies tens of thousands of light years away, hidden behind dust and gas. Its presence is inferred rather than seen. Even that central region, home to a massive black hole, does not dominate experience from Earth's location. The galaxy is vast enough that no single place feels central. This decentralization is one of the most difficult ideas to absorb. We are accustomed to thinking in terms of centers and edges. Homes have centers. Cities have downtowns. Maps orient around focal points. The Milky Way resists this instinct. It has structure without emphasis, motion without destination. Earth exists within this structure without drawing attention. Its orbit around the Sun is precise and stable, but this stability is local. The galaxy does not recognize it as significant. From this perspective, Earth becomes profoundly small, not physically destroyed, not erased, but diluted. Its presence is spread thin across a system so large that individual details dissolve. The planet is not lost. It is simply one detail among billions. This dilution does not erase individuality. It contextualizes it. Every star system in the Milky Way has its own local importance. Within each, planets may exist, histories may unfold, complexity may arise. The galaxy does not privilege one over another. Earth is special because it is Earth, not because it occupies a privileged position in the Milky Way. This realization can feel unsettling, but it carries a quiet comfort. If importance does not depend on cosmic position, then it cannot be taken away by scale. Meaning remains local, resilient, independent of the vastness around it. As the galaxy continues to unfold around us, Earth's size becomes almost irrelevant. What matters at this scale is not planets, but stars. Not stars, but clusters. Not clusters, but motion shaped by gravity over time. The Milky Way itself is not static. It rotates slowly, completing one full turn over hundreds of millions of years. Earth participates in this motion without noticing. Its journey around the galactic center takes so long that countless generations pass without sensing progress. This slow movement reinforces the galaxy's quiet character. Nothing rushes, nothing demands attention. Earth, embedded within this slow rotation, feels less like a destination and more like a passenger. It moves because everything moves. It exists because everything exists. This is where size truly becomes abstract. Earth is no longer something that can be compared meaningfully to what surrounds it. The galaxy is too large, the distance is too vast. Comparison loses emotional traction. Earth does not feel small here. It feels distant from scale itself. And as we continue outward, even the Milky Way will soon face the same quiet reduction that Earth and the solar system experienced before it. For now, it is enough to rest with this image. Earth, once the entire world, now rides unnoticed within a galaxy so large that its full shape can only be imagined, never experienced directly. The planet remains alive. The galaxy remains indifferent. And space continues to widen, patiently, without end. Why our galaxy makes Earth meaningless in size. Once the Milky Way is allowed to fully exist in the mind, Earth's size stops being something that can be meaningfully described. The planet does not shrink further in any dramatic sense. It simply loses relevance as a unit of measurement. At this scale, planets are no longer the language of size. Stars take their place, and even they soon begin to feel insufficient. The Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars, but that number alone does not convey its presence. Numbers compress reality rather than expand it. What defines the galaxy is not how many stars it holds, but how those stars are arranged across space and time. Spiral arms curve gently outward. Vast clouds of gas glow faintly. Dark matter forms an invisible structure that outweighs everything we can see. Earth does not participate in this structure in any noticeable way. Its mass is too small, its gravity too weak, its presence too local. Within the galaxy, Earth does not shape motion. It does not influence orbits beyond its immediate surroundings. It does not alter the spiral pattern or contribute meaningfully to the galaxy's rotation. Earth exists entirely within a pocket of influence defined by the sun. This realization changes the emotional meaning of size. Earth is no longer small in comparison. It is irrelevant to comparison. The Milky Way does not scale down to include planets. It operates on levels far above them. To the galaxy, stars are the smallest meaningful units. Everything below that, planets, moons, asteroids, is effectively invisible. This invisibility is not a judgment. It is a natural consequence of scale. Gravity responds to mass. The Milky Way's mass is spread across an enormous volume. Individual planets contribute nothing measurable to that total. Even stars, vast as they are, become points when viewed from far enough away. Earth's size dissolves into insignificance, not because it is unimportant, but because the system it inhabits is too large to register it. The galaxy's rotation does not account for Earth. Its structure does not depend on Earth. Its future does not change because of Earth. This lack of dependence is unsettling only if importance is assumed to be universal. If importance must exist at every level, then Earth's disappearance from relevance feels like loss, but importance does. Importance not work that way. Importance is local. Earth is important within the thin shell of life it supports. It is important to the organisms that exist on it. It is important within the narrow context of human experience. Beyond that context, importance dissolves naturally. The galaxy does not remove meaning, it ignores it. This indifference is not cruel, it is stabilizing. A universe that does not prioritize meaning at every scale allows meaning to exist where it matters most. within experience itself. As the Milky Way unfolds, Earth's size becomes less than a rounding error. It becomes something that cannot be located without deliberate effort. The planet is not marked. It is not highlighted. It is one coordinate among countless others. Even the sun, once dominant, begins to feel modest here. It is a middle-aged star in an unremarkable region of the galaxy. Its light does not stand out. Its mass does not command attention. It follows the same rules as billions of others. If the sun does not matter to the galaxy, Earth certainly does not. And yet, this does not make existence bleak. It makes it calm. There is no pressure to matter at every scale. No requirement to leave a mark on the galaxy. No expectation that significance must be cosmic. Life unfolds where conditions allow it, not where scale permits it. Earth's size becomes meaningless only when judged by the wrong standard. Judged by its ability to influence the Milky Way, Earth fails completely. Judged by its ability to host life, it succeeds entirely. The galaxy does not care which standard we use. It continues to rotate, to form stars, to evolve over billions of years. Earth exists quietly within that motion, unaffected by the galaxy's indifference. This quiet coexistence is the true relationship between Earth and the Milky Way. Not dominance, not competition, not centrality, just participation. Earth participates in the galaxy the way a single cell participates in a forest. It exists, functions, and matters locally, while remaining invisible to the structure as a whole. The forest does not notice the cell. The cell does not define the forest. And yet, both exist together. This framing softens the weight of scale. Earth does not need to be large to belong. It does not need to be noticed to exist. The universe does not measure worth by size. As perspective continues to widen, the Milky Way itself will soon face the same quiet reduction Earth just experienced. It too will be placed beside something larger. It too will lose relevance as a unit of measurement. Scale does not stop expanding. For now, it is enough to rest with this understanding. Earth's size becomes meaningless not because it is small, but because the galaxy is vast beyond comparison. Meaning does not vanish. It simply retreats inward where it has always lived. Earth remains what it has always been. The galaxy remains indifferent. And space continues to open, calmly, endlessly. Billions of stars, no center. When the Milky Way finally settles into awareness, it does not feel like an object. It feels like an environment without boundaries. From inside, there is no clear edge to point toward, no visible frame that defines where the galaxy begins or ends. The Milky Way surrounds rather than confronts, existing as a vast field of stars and space that resists containment. This resistance is important. The galaxy does not present itself as something to be measured easily. Its structure is inferred rather than experienced. We know it has spiral arms, a central bulge, and an extended halo, but these features are learned concepts, not lived sensations. From within, the galaxy feels uniform enough that no single direction announces itself as special. Earth exists quietly inside this uniformity. The sun follows a slow, curved path around the galactic center, taking hundreds of millions of years to complete one orbit. Earth rides along without noticing. Entire civilizations rise and fall during a fraction of a single galactic year. From the galaxy's perspective, human history barely registers as motion. This mismatch of timescales deepens the sense of smallness. Scale is not only about distance, it is also about duration. The Milky Way has existed for more than 10 billion years. Earth has existed for less than half that time. Human civilization occupies a vanishingly thin layer at the end of that span. When time is included, Earth's presence becomes even more fleeting. The galaxy does not pause for this. Stars are born and die continuously. Gas clouds collapse, ignite, and disperse. Supernovae flare briefly, then fade. None of these events center on Earth's existence. They occur wherever conditions allow, scattered across a structure too large to favor any single location. This lack of favor creates a strange calm. There is no privileged viewpoint inside the galaxy. No star occupies the true center in any meaningful sense. Even the galactic center itself is simply a region of higher density, not a place where meaning accumulates. Gravity pulls inward, but experience does not. Earth's position is ordinary by every measurable standard. It does not lie near the center. It does not occupy an edge. It is not aligned with anything significant. It exists in a quiet region of one spiral arm, far from the brightest activity, far from the densest clusters. This ordinariness is not disappointing. It is stabilizing. Regions of intense activity are chaotic. Quieter regions allow longevity. The galaxy's size makes this ordinariness inevitable. With hundreds of billions of stars, most locations must be unremarkable. If something were special everywhere, nothing would be. The Milky Way's scale guarantees that most of its volume is calm, sparse, and uneventful. Earth resides in that calm. From here, the galaxy feels endless. Stars extend outward in all directions. Darkness fills the gaps. There is no visible curvature, no hint of shape. The idea that the galaxy has a center somewhere feels abstract, disconnected from immediate experience. This abstraction weakens the concept of centrality itself. On Earth, centers matter. Cities form around them. Homes are organized around them. Maps depend on them. In the galaxy, centers exist mathematically, but not experientially. No matter where you are, the sky surrounds you equally. This equality erases hierarchy. Earth is not closer to importance because of position. It is not farther from it either. Position loses meaning when scale becomes too large for experience to track. As attention moves across the galaxy, Earth's size no longer registers. It is not small in comparison. It is simply below the threshold where comparison functions. The galaxy does not see planets. It sees mass distributions and motion. Earth's mass disappears into noise. Even stars, enormous as they are, become points when seen from far enough away. Their individuality dissolves into patterns. The galaxy becomes a faint glow rather than a collection of objects. This glow is what distant observers see when they look toward the Milky Way from outside. A soft, elongated shape with no visible detail. Earth contributes nothing to that glow. The realization is quiet, but complete. Earth does not influence how the Milky Way appears. It does not alter its brightness. It does not change its shape. The planet exists entirely beneath the galaxy's threshold of notice. This threshold is not moral. It is physical. Scale determines what matters to structure. Earth does not meet the scale required to shape the galaxy. That role belongs to stars, gas, dark matter, and time. And yet, Earth continues to matter where it exists. The galaxy's indifference does not negate Earth's significance to those who live on it. It simply confines that significance to its proper scale. Meaning does not need to extend outward indefinitely to be real. This confinement is freeing. It releases Earth from the pressure of cosmic importance. The planet does not need to be central to the universe. It only needs to be itself. As the galaxy continues to unfold around us, This release becomes more pronounced. The mind no longer tries to anchor meaning in scale. It allows size to be what it is, without judgment or expectation. In the next movement of this chapter, the galaxy itself will face a comparison that shifts perspective once again. Just as Earth faded within the Milky Way, the Milky Way will soon be placed within something larger, and its apparent vastness will begin to soften. For now, it is enough to rest with this image. Earth, once the whole world, now exists as a silent passenger inside a galaxy so large that it has no true center, only motion, time, and quiet persistence. Earth as a rounding error. There is a point in every expansion of scale where comparison stops being useful. Numbers lose texture, size loses shape. Objects that once felt distinct dissolve into abstraction. This is where Earth now exists, not as something small beside something large, but as something so minor that it no longer registers meaningfully at all. Within the Milky Way, Earth is not small in a dramatic sense. It is small in a statistical sense. Its mass is so negligible compared to the total mass of the galaxy that it does not affect any large-scale behavior. Remove Earth entirely, and nothing changes. The orbits of stars remain the same. The spiral arms keep their shape. The galaxy's rotation continues uninterrupted. Earth becomes what mathematicians call a rounding error, a value so tiny that it disappears when calculations are simplified. Something that exists, but does not alter the outcome. This idea feels uncomfortable only because it conflicts with how importance is usually imagined. We are accustomed to thinking that existence must matter outwardly to be real. The universe does not share this assumption. At galactic scale, matter is averaged. Individual contributions are smoothed out. Patterns emerge not from details, but from immense totals. Earth's presence is swallowed by this averaging process. Its influence is lost long before the galaxy is fully considered. This loss is not violent. It is complete. The galaxy does not need to ignore Earth intentionally. It simply does not register it. Just as a single grain of sand does not alter the shape of a desert, a single planet does not alter the shape of a galaxy. And yet, the grain exists. The planet exists. Scale does not erase existence. It reclassifies it. From the perspective of galactic structure, Earth is not a feature. It is noise. It is below the resolution required to shape motion or pattern. Even the sun itself barely registers. Stars matter collectively, not individually. This collective behavior defines everything. The Milky Way's spiral shape emerges from the combined gravity of billions of stars and vast clouds of gas. No single star defines an arm. No single system determines curvature. The pattern arises only when scale is large enough for individual contributions to blend. Earth cannot participate in this blending. Its gravity is too weak, its mass too small, its reach too short. The planet is confined to a local pocket of influence that never extends beyond its star system. It lives entirely below the level where the galaxy takes notice. This confinement might seem limiting, but it is precisely what allows stability. Earth exists in a protected zone where local interactions dominate. Within this zone, complexity can develop without being torn apart by galactic forces. Galactic forces are subtle but immense. They shape motion over millions of years. They stretch structures slowly. They operate on timescales that erase detail. Earth's existence unfolds on much shorter scales. Seasons, climates, ecosystems, civilizations. All of these exist in a narrow window where galactic motion is irrelevant. This separation of scales is essential. Earth mattered to this galaxy, life here would be impossible. The forces required to register at that level would overwhelm local stability. Earth survives precisely because it does not matter to the Milky Way. Smallness becomes safety. When Earth is understood as a rounding error, it stops competing for significance. It no longer needs to justify itself in cosmic terms. It exists where it exists, complete within its own scale. This perspective shifts emotional weight. Instead of feeling diminished, Earth begins to feel sheltered. The vastness of the galaxy becomes a backdrop rather than a threat. Large-scale motion continues overhead without intruding. Time stretches outward, leaving room for continuity. The galaxy's indifference is what allows Earth to persist. No star system is singled out for attention. No region is prioritized. Everything unfolds according to local conditions within a broader, stable framework. Earth's smallness places it inside this framework without disturbing it. As scale continues to expand, even the Milky Way's size will soon face the same quiet reduction Earth has already undergone. Just as planets disappear within galaxies, galaxies disappear within larger structures. The pattern repeats. Small things exist inside large things. Large things exist inside larger ones. And at each level, what once felt dominant becomes background. Earth's journey through this pattern is not unique. It mirrors the behavior of everything in the universe. No structure remains central when perspective widens enough. This is not a story of loss. It is a story of placement. Earth occupies a place where its size is appropriate. It does not need to be larger. It does not need to matter beyond its scale. Its existence is complete without cosmic recognition. As this understanding settles, the need to measure fades. Earth does not need to be compared anymore. Its smallness has been fully revealed, and nothing further is required. The universe, continues outward. Galaxies gather into groups. Groups gather into clusters. Clusters stretch into filaments across unimaginable distances. Earth will vanish completely long before these structures fully enter awareness. For now, it is enough to rest with this realization. Earth is not lost in the galaxy. It is safely contained within it, small enough to survive, quiet enough to persist, and free from the burden of cosmic importance. Galaxies as neighbors. When the Milky Way finally begins to feel familiar in its vastness, the universe quietly widens again. The galaxy that once seemed impossibly large now finds itself placed among others. Not abruptly, not dramatically, just gently enough that its dominance begins to soften. The Milky Way is not alone. It belongs to a small collection of galaxies known as the local group. This group is not a tight cluster or a crowded assembly. It is a loose neighborhood, bound together by gravity but separated by enormous distances. Galaxies drift here slowly, each following its own path, held together by a shared gravitational field that stretches across millions of light years. From this perspective, the Milky Way begins to feel less like a universe and more like a participant. Earth, already invisible within its own galaxy, becomes even further removed from relevance. The planet does not just disappear from view, it disappears from context. There is no meaningful way to locate Earth when thinking at the scale of multiple galaxies. It is not just small, it is unaddressable. The local group contains dozens of galaxies of varying sizes. Some are large spirals like the Milky Way and Andromeda. Others are small, faint dwarf galaxies, barely holding together under the influence of their larger neighbors. These dwarfs drift slowly, stretched and reshaped by gravity over time. The Milky Way and Andromeda dominate this group. They are the two largest members, each surrounded by a retinue of smaller galaxies. Their mutual gravity defines the structure of the local group. Everything else responds to their presence. Over billions of years, these two galaxies have been slowly moving toward one another, their halos already overlapping in invisible ways. This motion is gentle. Galaxies do not rush. They drift. Their interactions unfold over timescales so long that motion becomes something inferred rather than seen. The local group feels calm because change is stretched thin across time. Within this calm, Earth's existence is inconsequential. The planet does not influence the Milky Way's motion. The Milky Way's motion does not respond to Earth. Even the Sun's position within the galaxy does not matter at this level. Only the total mass of the galaxy counts. Earth's mass disappears entirely here. The local group does not recognize stars individually. It responds to galaxies as whole structures, each represented by a single center of mass. The internal complexity of those galaxies, stars, planets, life, does not factor into the group's behavior. This abstraction is complete. Earth is no longer a place. It is no longer a planet. It is not even a star system. It is an internal detail within one member of a group, far below the resolution at which structure is considered. This loss of resolution can feel unsettling. It suggests that Earth is not just small, but forgettable. But forgettable to what? To whom? The local group does not possess awareness. It does not forget or remember. It simply behaves according to gravity. This distinction matters. Scale removes intention. The universe does not choose what to notice. It follows rules. Gravity responds to mass. Motion follows energy. Structure emerges from accumulation, not attention. Earth's invisibility at this level is not neglect. It is inevitability. From far enough away, even the Milky Way begins to lose its identity. Its spiral arms blur. Its structure compresses into a faint glow. The galaxy becomes a smudge of light, among others, no longer special, no longer singular. The local group itself begins to resemble a small cluster of glowing points, loosely bound, drifting through an even larger darkness. This darkness is not empty. It is filled with gravitational influence, with dark matter forming a vast, invisible web that connects galaxies across space. The local group sits within one node of this web, shaped by forces that extend far beyond its visible members. Earth does not interact with this web at all. Its scale is too small, its gravity too weak, its influence too local. Earth exists entirely beneath the web's awareness, if awareness could be said to exist at all. As this understanding settles, the idea of neighborhood shifts. The local group is not a place in the human sense. It is not something one could travel across meaningfully. The distances involved are so vast that even light takes millions of years to cross them. Time stretches further. Events that feel ancient on Earth become brief moments here. Entire planetary histories unfold while galaxies drift barely perceptibly. The local group structure changes slowly, guided by gravity that operates without urgency. Within this slow motion, Earth's timeline is insignificant. This insignificance is not dismissive. It is descriptive. The local group does not need Earth to exist. It does not respond to Earth's presence. It will continue to evolve whether or not life persists on one planet around one star. This can feel cold until perspective shifts. Earth does not need to matter to the local group to matter at all. Meaning does not scale upward automatically. It remains anchored where experience occurs. Earth's smallness does not remove its richness. It simply confines that richness to its proper scale. As we continue outward, Even the local group will soon lose its distinctiveness. It too will become a detail within something larger. Just as Earth faded within the Milky Way, and the Milky Way faded within the local group, the pattern will repeat. Scale continues to expand. For now, it is enough to rest with this image. Galaxies drift together in a quiet neighborhood, bound by gravity, unconcerned with the tiny worlds that orbit their stars. Earth rides along unseen, carried within a structure that does not notice it, but does not need to. Why Earth cannot be located meaningfully. There comes a point where location itself loses meaning. Within daily life, location matters deeply. We navigate by addresses, landmarks, borders, and directions. Even within a planet, position defines identity. Where something is tells us what it is relative to everything else. But as scale expands, location begins to dissolve into abstraction. This is where Earth now exists. Within the local group, Earth does not have a meaningful address. It cannot be pointed to in a way that carries intuitive significance. Saying that Earth is located in the Milky Way's Orion arm, orbiting the Sun, within a spiral galaxy inside the local group, sounds precise, but precision does not create presence. It creates coordinates. Coordinates are not places, they are instructions. At this level of scale, Earth is no longer a destination. It is a specification buried within layers of structure. To locate it requires unpacking multiple levels of context, each one larger than the last. Without those layers, Earth disappears entirely. This disappearance is complete. From outside the local group, the Milky Way and Andromeda dominate perception. Smaller galaxies fade quickly. Even these two giants lose internal detail. Their internal stars blur, their spiral structures soften. Everything below galactic scale vanishes. Earth is many layers below that threshold. The planet's location cannot be felt, seen, or intuited. It exists only as information stored in systems capable of tracking complexity. Without those systems, Earth has no presence at all. This is not a limitation of observation. It is a property of scale. When structures become large enough, they stop resolving details beneath a certain size. This happens everywhere. From far above, cities become textures. From farther still, continents become shapes. Beyond that, planets become points. Earth has passed beyond the final stage where it can be meaningfully located. The local group does not care where Earth is. It does not track planets. It does not respond to solar systems. Its behavior is defined entirely by the distribution of galactic mass. Everything smaller is averaged away. Earth's location is lost in that averaging. Even the Sun's position barely matters. The galaxy's overall mass defines motion, not the exact placement of individual stars. The local group behaves as though each galaxy were a single point. Internal structure is irrelevant. This irrelevance can feel uncomfortable. It suggests that Earth does not belong to the larger universe in any identifiable way. But belonging does not require recognition. It requires coexistence. Earth coexists with the local group without being noticed. This unnoticed existence is the norm, not the exception. Almost everything in the universe exists without being individually accounted for. Only large-scale patterns persist. Everything else dissolves into background. Understanding this changes how location is felt. Earth is not lost because it cannot be located meaningfully. It is simply beyond the scale where location functions intuitively. Asking where Earth is within the local group is like asking where a single grain of sand is within a desert viewed from orbit. The question stops making sense. This is not failure. It is transition. As scale grows, different concepts replace one another. Location gives way to distribution. Identity gives way to pattern. Detail gives way to structure. Earth does not survive this transition as a visible entity. It survives as a possibility, one of countless planets that may exist within countless star systems across the group. The local group does not distinguish between inhabited and uninhabited worlds. It does not recognize complexity. It responds only to gravity. This lack of recognition does not diminish Earth's uniqueness. It isolates it. Uniqueness exists only where comparison is possible. At this scale, comparison ends. Earth cannot be compared because it cannot be isolated. This isolation is quiet. No announcement marks the moment when Earth stops being locatable. It simply becomes unimportant to the structure being considered. The universe does not pause to acknowledge the transition. This quiet disappearance repeats at every level. Just as Earth vanished within the solar system, and the solar system vanished within the galaxy. The galaxy itself will soon vanish within something larger. The local group is not immune to this process. From farther away, the entire group compresses into a single point of light. Its internal motion disappears. Its individual galaxies merge into a glow. Earth is not just unlocatable here. It is non-existent in perception. Yet existence does not depend on perception. Earth continues to orbit. Life continues to unfold. History continues to accumulate. All of this happens independently of whether the universe can locate it meaningfully. This separation between existence and recognition is one of the most calming realizations scale can offer. Things do not need to be noticed to matter. They do not need to be large to exist. They do not need to influence structure to carry meaning. Earth's inability to be located meaningfully within the local group does not erase it. It frees it from cosmic evaluation. The planet is no longer measured against structures too large to care. Meaning returns inward. Earth matters because of what happens on it, not because of where it sits. Its story unfolds locally, sheltered from the vast scales that would otherwise overwhelm it. As we continue outward, even the local group will dissolve into something unrecognizable. It too will lose its address. It too will become a detail in a much larger structure. Scale continues to expand, and with it, the concepts that once anchored understanding quietly fall away. For now, it is enough to rest with this idea. Earth does not have a meaningful location at this scale, and it does not need one. It exists. That is enough. The edge we cannot reach beyond the local group, the universe opens in a way that no longer feels navigable. Distances stop behaving like extensions of what came before. They expand too quickly, too completely, for intuition to follow. Space does not simply continue outward, it multiplies. The idea of an edge begins here, but not in the way edges are usually imagined. The observable universe has a boundary, but it is not a wall. It is not a surface. It is not a place that could ever be reached. It exists because light travels at a finite speed, and time itself has limits. The universe is old, but not infinitely old. Because of this, there are regions whose light has not yet had time to arrive. This boundary moves constantly. As time passes, more light reaches us. The observable universe grows, not because the universe itself is expanding outward into something else, but because our view deepens. The edge recedes without moving. It is defined not by distance, but by history. Earth has no relationship to this edge. The planet does not sit near it. It does not move toward it. It does not exist in a way that allows orientation relative to it. The edge is not something that can be pointed to from any location. It surrounds everything equally. No matter where you are, the boundary of observation appears at the same distance in all directions. This symmetry removes position entirely. There is no center of the observable universe. There is no special place where expansion originates. Every point sees itself as central, not because it is, but because observation radiates outward from wherever the observer happens to be. Earth's perspective is not unique. If an observer existed in a distant galaxy billions of light years away, they would see their own observable universe centered on themselves. Their edge would be defined by the same limits of time and light, not by Earth's location. This realization dissolves the last trace of centrality. Earth is not central to the galaxy. The galaxy is not central to the local group. The local group is not central to the universe. There is no central reference left. The observable universe contains hundreds of billions of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. This number is so large that it resists visualization. Attempts to imagine it often fail, collapsing into abstraction. The mind compresses again, not out of laziness, but necessity. Scale here is no longer spatial. It is conceptual. Earth, which once felt like a place, then a planet, then a coordinate, now disappears entirely. It is not small. It is irrelevant to the structure being considered. The observable universe does not include planets as meaningful units. It includes galaxies as faint points of light. Even galaxies begin to lose individuality. Clusters of galaxies form larger structures, bound together by gravity. These clusters connect into filaments that stretch across space, outlining vast voids between them. This cosmic web defines the large-scale structure of the universe. Earth exists nowhere within this web, not because it is absent, but because it is far too small to be represented. The web does not resolve details below galactic scale. It sees mass distributions averaged across enormous distances. The Sun, the solar system, Earth, all of these are buried deep within a single point of light that itself becomes just one strand in a vast pattern. This pattern does not acknowledge components. It responds only to totals. From this vantage, the universe feels both immense and indifferent. Not cold, but unconcerned. Not hostile, but neutral. It does not react to presence or absence at small scales. This neutrality is consistent. The universe does not ask where Earth is. It does not register Earth's history. It does not respond to Earth's existence. Earth exists within the universe without participating in its large-scale behavior. This separation is complete. There is no feedback loop between planetary life and cosmic structure. This does not make Earth fragile. It makes it independent. Life unfolds in pockets that are insulated from cosmic scale by distance and time. The observable universe is too large, too slow, to interfere with what happens locally. Earth is protected by its insignificance. The edge of observation continues to expand as time passes. Galaxies that are visible today were once beyond reach. In the far future, some galaxies will drift beyond observation as space itself expands between us and them, faster than light can cross. This expansion does not threaten Earth. It does not approach it. It does not surround it. The edge remains equally distant in every direction, always beyond reach, always defined by time rather than space. Earth does not sit inside the observable universe like an object inside a container. It exists as a moment within a field of expanding visibility. The universe is not something Earth is inside of. It is something Earth is part of, without boundary. This lack of boundary removes the final anchor for scale. There is nowhere to stand outside the universe and look back. There is no external reference. Everything exists within the same expanding framework. Earth's smallness here is not dramatic. It is complete. There is nothing left to compare it to. There is no larger structure to place it beside. The observable universe contains everything that can be seen, and Earth does not register within it at any meaningful level. And yet, Earth continues. The planet orbits its star. Life continues to unfold. Time passes. None of this requires recognition by the universe at large. This is the quiet conclusion of scale, not an ending, but a release. Earth no longer needs to be placed, measured, or compared. It exists where it exists, fully contained within its own relevance. As we move into the next movement of this chapter, we will allow this realization to soften further, exploring how Earth becomes not just small, but unmeasurable in any intuitive sense. For now, it is enough to rest with the idea of an edge that cannot be reached, surrounding everything equally, asking nothing of the tiny worlds that exist within it. Earth as an unmeasurable point. At this scale, even the idea of small begins to lose meaning. Earth is no longer something that can be described as tiny or vast. It is not a dot, not a speck, not a grain of sand. Those metaphors still rely on visibility and comparison. They assume an observer who can see both the object and what surrounds it. But within the observable universe, Earth cannot be seen in any intuitive way at all. It becomes unmeasurable, not because it lacks size, but because the scale of measurement has exceeded the limits of relevance. The universe is no longer asking how large something is. It is asking how mass is distributed across unimaginable distances. Earth does not participate in this question. When astronomers map the large-scale structure of the universe, they do not mark planets. They do not mark stars. They do not even mark individual galaxies in most cases. They mark regions of density. They trace filaments and voids, patterns that emerge only when countless structures are averaged together. Earth vanishes completely within this averaging. The planet does not disappear physically. It disappears conceptually. There is no category at this level that includes planets as meaningful entries. Earth is far below the threshold of notice, far below the resolution at which structure is defined. This is not erasure. It is scale doing what scale does. When perspective widens enough, detail dissolves. This happens everywhere. From high above, a city becomes a texture. From farther still, continents become shapes. From even farther away, planets become points. And beyond that, even points disappear. Earth has passed beyond that final stage. It is no longer a point that can be placed. It is not even a coordinate that matters. Its position cannot be meaningfully described without collapsing back into smaller scales. To speak of Earth here requires breaking the frame, zooming inward, abandoning the scale of the observable universe entirely. This makes Earth unmeasurable in practice. The universe does not contain a map large enough to include both Earth and the whole at once. Any map that shows Earth must exclude most of the universe. Any map that shows the universe must exclude Earth. This mutual exclusion is important. It reveals that scale is not a ladder you climb continuously. It is a set of layers, each with its own rules. When you move from one layer to another, the language changes. Concepts that mattered before lose meaning. New ones take their place. Earth mattered when scale was planetary. It mattered less when scale was stellar. It vanished when scale became cosmic. This vanishing does not mean Earth is negligible. It means it belongs to a different layer of description. Trying to include it at this level is like trying to describe a cell while discussing climate patterns. The levels do not align. The observable universe operates on statistics, not stories. It does not track histories. It does not preserve identities. It does not record events. It responds only to totals, to averages, to large-scale distributions of mass and energy. Everything else becomes internal detail, hidden inside larger structures, invisible to the frame. Earth is such a detail. Its oceans, its continents, its civilizations, its entire biological history are compressed into nothing at this scale. Not because they are unimportant, but because the scale is wrong for them to appear. This realization can feel heavy at first. There is a sense of being lost, of being swallowed by vastness. But that feeling arises only if importance is assumed to be universal. If meaning must exist at every level to be valid. The universe does not support this assumption. Meaning is local. It exists where experience exists. It does not need to scale upward. It does not need to be acknowledged by larger structures. Earth's meaning is complete without cosmic recognition. When Earth becomes unmeasurable, it also becomes unburdened. There is no expectation left for it to matter beyond itself. No requirement to leave a trace in the cosmic web. No pressure to justify existence through scale. The planet simply is. This simplicity is calming. It allows Earth to exist without comparison, without ranking, without evaluation. It no longer needs to be framed as small or large, significant or insignificant. It exists at the scale where it belongs. From this vantage, the observable universe does not feel hostile or indifferent. It feels spacious. It provides room for countless small systems to exist without interference. Its vastness isolates rather than overwhelms. Earth is protected by distance. Cosmic events unfold far away. Collisions between galaxies happen over billions of years. Large-scale changes move so slowly that local systems remain stable. Earth's environment is not shaped by the universe's expansion. It is shaped by local conditions. This separation is what allows continuity. If Earth were large enough to matter at cosmic scale, it would be exposed to forces that would make stability impossible. Its smallness is not a weakness. It is a shield. The universe is large so that small things can survive. As this understanding settles, the idea of scale becomes gentler. There is no need to push perspective further. Nothing larger remains to be revealed. The observable universe is the largest meaningful frame available. Beyond it lies speculation, not structure. Earth cannot be placed beyond this point. It cannot be reduced further in any intuitive sense. It has reached the end of comparison. From here, the journey turns inward. After all the expansion, all the widening, all the dissolving of size and position, the only place meaning can reside is where it began, within experience itself. Earth may be unmeasurable here, but it remains fully present where life unfolds. This is not contradiction. It is resolution. The universe does not need Earth to be visible. Earth does not need the universe to notice it. They coexist across scales that do not intersect. As we move into the next chapter, we will step away from physical size and explore something quieter. Why, despite everything revealed, Earth still feels big to us, and why that feeling persists even when scale has erased every comparison. For now, it is enough to rest with this final expansion. Earth is no longer small. It is simply beyond measure. And in that, it is free. Human perception compresses reality after everything has expanded, after Earth has vanished into the solar system, the galaxy, the local group, and finally the observable universe, something unexpected remains. Despite all of this, despite knowing how small Earth truly is, it still feels large. This feeling does not disappear with information. You can learn the numbers. You can understand the comparisons. You can follow the logic all the way outward. And still, when you stand on the ground, Earth feels solid, stable, and immense. This is not ignorance. It is perception. The human mind is not built to experience scale objectively. It is built to survive within a narrow range of conditions. To do that, it compresses reality, quietly, continuously, and without asking permission. Compression is not distortion. It is filtering. Every moment, the brain receives far more information than it can process. Light floods the eyes. Sound fills the ears. Sensations arrive from every part of the body. If all of this were treated equally, awareness would dissolve into noise. So the mind chooses. It prioritizes what is close. It emphasizes what moves quickly. It magnifies what can cause harm or comfort. Everything else fades into background. Cosmic scale lives entirely in that background. The size of Earth does not affect immediate survival. The motion of the planet through space does not change daily experience. The vastness of the universe does not demand action. As a result, the mind assigns these facts low priority. They are acknowledged intellectually, then compressed emotionally. This compression reshapes scale into something manageable. Earth becomes the ground. The sky becomes above. Space becomes far away. These labels are not wrong. They are functional. Function matters more than accuracy and perception. From a survival perspective, Earth must feel stable. If it felt fragile or insignificant all the time, attention would scatter. Anxiety would increase. Focus would fracture. The mind resists this by anchoring experience to what feels dependable. Earth becomes that anchor. The ground beneath your feet feels unmoving. Horizons remain where they were yesterday. Gravity behaves consistently. These sensations tell the mind that the world is reliable. Reliability feels like size. Something that holds you feels large, regardless of its physical dimensions. This is why Earth feels bigger than it is. Not because we believe it is central, but because it behaves as if it is within experience. It supports weight. It absorbs motion. It responds predictably. These traits signal importance far more strongly than any measurement. The universe does not provide these signals. Space feels empty. Distance feels abstract. Time feels stretched. None of these things offer immediate feedback. They do not push back when touched. They do not resist movement. They do not respond to presence. As a result, they feel less real, less substantial, less large. The mind trusts resistance. A wall feels solid because it stops motion. The ground feels massive because it holds weight. Earth feels large because it carries everything. This sensory logic overrides intellectual understanding. Knowing that Earth is small compared to the universe does not change how it feels to stand on it. Perception operates locally, not globally. This locality is essential. If the mind felt cosmic scale directly, it would lose its ability to function in the present. The weight of vastness would drown out immediate concerns. Survival depends on narrowing focus, not expanding it. So the mind protects itself. It collapses scale inward. It shrinks the universe. It enlarges the local. Earth becomes the largest thing because it is the closest thing. This is not arrogance. It is adaptation. The feeling of bigness is not a claim about the universe. It is a reflection of how perception works. Earth feels big because it occupies the entire frame of reference where experience happens. Everything else exists beyond that frame. This explains why images of Earth from space feel so powerful. They briefly override compression. They show the planet as an object, finite and contained. For a moment, the illusion breaks. Earth feels small, but the illusion returns quickly. Back on the surface, experience reasserts itself. The ground feels solid again. The sky feels distant again. Earth resumes its role as background rather than object. This cycle repeats endlessly. Compression is not something we can turn off permanently, nor should we try. It keeps experience coherent. It allows meaning to form. It creates a sense of place. Without it, scale would overwhelm. Understanding this allows a gentler relationship with cosmic knowledge. There is no need to force yourself to feel small. There is no requirement to internalize the universe's size emotionally. The feeling of bigness is not denial. It is survival. Earth can be tiny in the universe and still feel vast in experience. These truths do not conflict. They exist at different levels of perception. This coexistence is natural. As this chapter continues, we will explore how accepting this duality, small in scale, large in experience, can create calm rather than confusion, grounding rather than insignificance. For now, it is enough to recognize that the mind compresses reality not to deceive, but to protect. Earth feels big because it needs to. Comfort, meaning, and the illusion that keeps us calm. Even after understanding scale, even after watching Earth disappear into larger and larger structures, the feeling of size returns. It returns quietly, without argument, without logic. It returns because feeling small all the time is not something the human mind is meant to carry. The sense of comfort comes first. Comfort does not arise from accuracy. It arises from predictability. Earth provides this in abundance. The ground remains where it was yesterday. Gravity behaves the same way each morning. The sky follows familiar rhythms. These repeating patterns tell the mind that the world is stable. Stability feels like largeness, something that endures, that resists change, that remains present across time, takes on emotional weight. Earth has been here for every moment of your life. It has supported every step, every breath, every moment of rest. That continuity gives it presence far beyond its physical size. The universe does not offer this kind of relationship. Stars change too slowly to be felt. Galaxies move across spans too long to register. Expansion itself unfolds without sensation. The universe does not participate in daily experience. Earth does. Meaning grows where interaction exists. We do not form emotional bonds with things we cannot touch, predict, or rely on. Earth is touched constantly. It responds to us. It holds us. That response creates significance, and significance creates the feeling of scale. This is why meaning and size often become confused. What matters feels big. What does not interact feels distant. What supports life feels immense. Earth is all of these things at once. The illusion of largeness is not falsehood. It is a translation. The mind translates importance into size because size is an intuitive language. Something big is harder to ignore. Something small can be dismissed. Earth must not be dismissed, so it is felt as large. This translation happens automatically. You do not decide to feel Earth as big. The feeling emerges from thousands of small interactions, walking, resting, breathing, orienting. Each interaction reinforces the idea that Earth is the main stage where life unfolds. And it is. At the scale of experience, Earth is not just large, it is total. There is no outside reference during daily life. Everything happens here. Everything begins here. Everything returns here. This totality feels like infinity. The universe may be vast, but it is not total in experience. It is glimpsed through screens, equations, images, and stories. Earth is lived. Lived things carry more weight than known things. This is why cosmic knowledge does not erase comfort. It sits beside it. You can know that Earth is tiny in the universe and still feel safe walking across it. You can understand that galaxies stretch beyond imagination and still feel grounded by familiar streets and horizons. These layers do not interfere with one another. One belongs to understanding, the other belongs to being. The illusion of largeness protects being. It prevents the mind from drifting too far outward, from losing its footing in abstraction. It anchors awareness to what can be acted upon. Without this anchor, meaning would scatter. There is also a gentler truth hidden within this illusion. Earth feels big because it is big enough. It is big enough to hold oceans, atmospheres, climates, and ecosystems. It is big enough to allow time for complexity to evolve. It is big enough to feel permanent within a lifetime. It does not need to be larger to fulfill its role. The universe does not ask more of it. Earth's size is sufficient. This sufficiency is calming. It removes the need for comparison. Earth does not need to compete with stars or galaxies. Its success is measured by continuity, not magnitude. Life has persisted here for billions of years. That persistence is not small. When the mind senses this persistence, it interprets it as scale. Something that lasts feels large. Something that endures feels significant. Earth endures. Even knowing that the planet will eventually change, that the sun will evolve, that nothing is permanent forever, does not erase this feeling. Permanence does not need to be infinite to be real. It only needs to outlast us. Earth does. This is why the illusion of largeness remains even after scale has been fully revealed. It is not a mistake. It is a feature. It allows comfort without denying reality. The universe can be vast. Earth can still feel like home. These truths do not compete. As this chapter settles, the journey of scale comes to a quiet rest. There is nowhere larger to go that adds meaning. The expansion has done its work. Perspective has widened fully, and now it folds back inward. Earth does not need to be redefined. It can be small in the universe and still feel big in your life. It can disappear into scale and still hold experience completely. These states coexist without contradiction. This coexistence is the final understanding. The universe is vast enough to make Earth unimportant in structure. Earth is intimate enough to make the universe irrelevant in daily life. Both are true, both are necessary, and with that, the mind can rest. The ground beneath you remains solid. The sky above remains familiar. The universe continues outward, unseen and unconcerned. Earth remains here. That is enough. Small, safe, and enough. After traveling outward through every layer of scale, past planets, stars, galaxies, and the limits of observation itself, the mind does something natural. It returns, not abruptly, not with urgency, but slowly, gently, like drifting back towards shore after floating in deep water. Perspective does not remain expanded forever. The human mind is not meant to live at cosmic distance. It visits scale briefly, then retreats inward, carrying only what it needs. What it keeps is not size, not numbers, not comparisons, but a quiet understanding that Earth is small and that this smallness is not a threat. It is protection. Small things are sheltered. They exist in pockets where forces are manageable, where change is gradual, where stability can persist. Earth survives because it is not exposed to the full weight of the universe. It exists in a calm zone, insulated by distance and time. The vastness beyond does not press inward. It does not crowd. It does not overwhelm. Instead, it creates space. Space for planets to orbit peacefully. Space for climates to stabilize. Space for life to unfold slowly. Earth's size places it perfectly within this space. Not too large to be chaotic, not too small to be fragile, just enough. This idea of enough is where scale finally softens into comfort. Earth does not need to be bigger to matter. It does not need to be noticed by galaxies or acknowledged by the universe. It only needs to continue being what it is, and it does. Every rotation brings another day. Every orbit brings another year. Every generation builds upon the last. This continuity is not cosmic, but it is real. The universe may be indifferent, but indifference is not hostility. It allows Earth to exist without interference. It allows quiet systems to persist beneath vast ones. The universe's size becomes a buffer rather than a burden. When this is understood, the fear sometimes associated with cosmic scale begins to dissolve. There is nothing chasing Earth, nothing waiting beyond the edge, nothing demanding significance. The universe does not ask anything of the planet. Earth exists freely within it. This freedom is subtle, but it is profound. It means Earth's story is not judged by how far it reaches, but by how deeply it unfolds. Meaning does not need to scale outward. It grows inward, within experience. This inward growth is what allows rest. The mind no longer needs to hold the universe in awareness. It has already seen enough. It knows that beyond Earth lies vastness, and beyond vastness lies more vastness. There is no need to keep watching. So attention returns to the immediate, to the feeling of gravity, to the quiet rhythm of breath, to the stability of the ground. These sensations do not contradict cosmic truth. They complete it. Earth feels large again, not because it is misunderstood, but because it is home. Home is not defined by size. It is defined by familiarity, safety, and continuity. The universe does not need to be close. Earth does. And as awareness settles back into this closeness, scale becomes something remembered rather than carried. The mind loosens its grip on infinity and allows itself to rest within limits. Limits are not failures. They are boundaries that allow peace. Earth's limits create night and day, warmth and cool, motion and rest. They create cycles that repeat gently, without urgency. These cycles signal safety, and safety invites sleep. The journey outward has ended, not with a final boundary, but with acceptance. There is nothing left to resolve, nothing left to compare, nothing left to measure. Earth is small, the universe is vast, and both are exactly as they need to be. Letting the universe fade. There is nothing left to chase now. The journey outward has reached its quiet end, not because there is no more universe, but because there is no more need to follow it. Scale has done its work. Distance has softened into understanding, and understanding no longer needs attention. The universe can continue without being watched. Galaxies will drift, stars will burn and fade. Space will continue expanding in every direction. None of this requires awareness to happen. Earth remains here, steady and patient, carrying life gently through time. It does not rush. It does not strain against the universe. It simply exists within it, protected by distance, sheltered by scale, small enough to be safe, stable enough to endure. And as attention settles, even Earth begins to fade, not into insignificance, but into background. Just as the ground beneath your feet is rarely noticed once it is trusted, Earth no longer needs to be held in thought. Trust replaces focus. The mind no longer needs to imagine stars or measure distances. It no longer needs to hold vastness or wonder what lies beyond. Those questions can rest now. They have already been answered in the only way that matters. There is space, there is time, and you are here, breathing quietly, supported effortlessly, held by gravity that never asks anything in return. The universe does not press inward. It does not demand meaning. It does not expect awareness. It simply allows. And in that allowance, there is peace. Thoughts slow because there is nothing left to resolve. Awareness narrows gently, returning to the present moment, to the rhythm of breath, to the calm certainty of rest. Earth continues turning beneath you. Night continues passing overhead. Time continues moving forward without urgency. Nothing is required of you. You do not need to be large. You do not need to be significant. You do not need to be remembered by the universe. Existence is already enough. The vastness beyond Earth fades into silence, not disappearing, but becoming irrelevant. What remains is comfort, familiarity, stillness, and as the mind lets go of distance, scale, and comparison, sleep arrives naturally, not as something forced, but as something invited. The universe continues on. Earth remains steady, and you can rest now.